The story starts with a 12-year-old boy named Rikuo Nura, who is part human and part yokai. He gathers all the yokai under his command to warn them not to enter the abandoned building next to his school. When asked why, Rikuo doesn't give a straight answer but insists that it's important they stay away. Later, Rikuo encounters a powerful yokai named Juki, who warns him about the dangers of being both human and yokai. Rikuo then heads off to school, where he is approached by Karasu Tengu, another yokai who informs him about the inheritance of the Nura clan. Rikuo punches Karasu Tengu, who then follows him to school. At school, Natsumi and Sori are talking to Kana about the abandoned school building. Natsumi tells Kana that there are demons living in the abandoned school. Kana doesn't believe that, and she sees Rikuo asking him if he agrees with her, to which Rikuo indeed agrees. At the rooftop during lunchtime, Kiyotsugu asks Rikuo and Shima if they are ready for an expedition at the abandoned school. Rikuo has his hands full when his friends want to go on a ghost hunt in the abandoned campus building. Despite sternly warning the demons in his clan to stay away from the building, he ends up having to shoo away minor demons who are not from his clan, doing his best to convince his friends that ghosts and demons do not exist. Suddenly, a powerful spirit attacks Rikuo and his friend Kana, leaving Kana unconscious. Rikuo is about to transform into his demon form, but suddenly, two of Rikuo's most trusted clan members, Yuki and Otabo, come to their rescue in the nick of time. It turns out they have been protecting Rikuo while in human disguise for a while without him knowing about it. In the end, Rikuo returns to his mansion with Kana, his secret still intact. Despite the terrifying encounter, he realizes the importance of his clan and the need to protect those closest to him, even if it means putting himself in danger. Next day, Zen and his officer, Hebideu, from the Yakushi clan, went to visit the Nura house. On their way, they met some mean yokai who were unfriendly to them. Zen poisoned them under a highway overpass, but Hebideu told him not to overexert himself. When they arrived at the Nura house, they met with Nurarihyon and Juki to discuss Rikuo's future status as third heir. Rikuo had just come home from school when he saw the yokai eating expensive manju. He thought his grandfather, Nurarihyon, went stealing food again, but he was told the food came from Zen. Rikuo went to find Zen in the parlor waiting for him, and many yokai were staring at them from the ceiling. The yokai revealed that Zen was the leader of the Zen sect, and used to play with Rikuo when he was a child. Yuki Onna came in to serve them hot tea, but spilled it all over Rikuo. Zen got angry when Yuki Onna froze Rikuo and ran off, but he immediately changed back to a cordial mood as they talked about Rikuo's pranks, general meetings, and Rikuo taking on the position as third heir of the Nura clan. When Rikuo said he couldn't take on that position as he was only a quarter yokai, Zen got angry and threatened to kill him with his poisonous feathers. The other yokai came to rescue Rikuo from the feathers and Zen left. Karasu Tengu broke the fourth wall and explained Zen's traits as a poisonous species, which made him physically weak. Later, Rikuo confronted Nurarihyon over inviting Zen to the Nura house despite his condition. But Nurarihyon dismissed it, saying Rikuo wasn't ready to take on his position. Rikuo and Karasu Tengu ran off to find Zen to tell him how he felt more directly. In the middle of a bamboo forest, Hebideu revealed his betrayal to Zen, claiming that he was betrayed first over Zen's lack of influence and how he always put the Nura clan first. Just as Hebideu was about to kill Zen, Rikuo and Karasu Tengu fended him off. Rikuo transformed into his yokai form and easily slayed him. After the fight, Zen realized Rikuo was telling the truth when he said he was only a quarter yokai. He requested Rikuo exchange Sakazuki with him as a pledge of loyalty to the Nura clan. As Zen returned home, Rikuo declared that he would become the third heir to Karasu Tengu. The next day, Rikuo met with Kana, Kiyotsugu, and Shima at school, and they discussed their night at the old junior high school building. Yukiana and Otabo caught up with Rikuo to pass him his lunch from his mother, Wakana. In class, a new student from Kyoto introduced herself as Yurika Kane. Kiyotsugu, Sori, Natsumi, and Shima were quizzed by Kiyotsugu using a laptop about fire yokai. Yurika Kane joined the group's conversation and told them more about yokai. Kiyotsugu decided to form the Kyojuji Paranormal Patrol, and Yura was invited to join the group at the Nura house. Otabo and Yuki Onna eavesdropped on the group and affirmed that they would help Rikuo keep the house quiet that night to prevent the group from spotting the Nura clan yokai. When Rikuo came home, the yokai were partying with Soshi and Sake in honor of his transformation in front of Zen last night. Rikuo told the yokai of their arrival, and the yokai cleaned up, much to everyone's chagrin. Just after the cleanup, the group arrived, and the yokai hid. They were greeted by Wakana, and Rikuo led them to the parlor. As they began their discussion on yokai in the Nura house, Kajoro walked in to serve the group tea. Rikuo escorted her out of the room and claimed she was a maid in front of the group, then excused himself to go to the bathroom. He rushed into the kitchen to tell Kajoro and the rest of the kitchen yokai not to show themselves in front of the group. Kajoro told him they weren't notified. Rikuo rushed back to the parlor to find the group gone. The Kyojuji Paranormal Patrol walked around the house, searching for yokai that Yura had detected. In all the areas they searched, yokai were present but out of sight from them. Nurarihyon entered and gave Kiyotsugu and Shima his super gross candy, and thanked the group for protecting Rikuo. After Nurarihyon left, a small rat yokai appeared out of a corner of a Buddha statue, and ran out into the courtyard. Yura exterminated it with paper charms. Yura revealed herself as an onmyoji of the Kaikane house who hunted down yokai in Kyoto, and came to Yukio town to hunt down even more yokai, to become the head of the clan and top onmyoji. Kiyotsugu gave her membership of the Kyojuji Paranormal Patrol, leaving Rikuo worried. Finally, the Kyojuji Paranormal Patrol left the Nura house. Later that night, Kana and Yura were walking through Yukio Town First Street. A group of rat yokai confronted the two and surrounded them into a dark alleyway, and were about to attack them. Yura summoned a wolf Shikigami named Tanro, who crushed one of the yokai. She jumped on Tanro and told him to devour the rats. Yura's Shikigami Tanro defeats one of the yokai, but Kyuso's rats take Kana hostage. Kyuso asks Yura to put Tanro away, and when she complies, he knocks her out. Meanwhile, at the Nura house, yokai are discussing the Kyuso clan taking over First Street from the Bakeniko clan. Rikuo Nura learns that Kana and Yura have been kidnapped and sets out to find them. He is led to a mansion where Kyuso is holding them captive. Kyuso demands that Rikuo announce he will not be the third heir, or Kana and Yura will be killed at dawn. Rikuo leaves the mansion and runs into Ryota Nico, a Bakeniko yokai, who offers to help him. They head to the Nura house, where they are joined by other yokai. Meanwhile, Kyuso refuses to release Kana and Yura, and claims that without her Shikigami, Yura is no onmyoji anymore. Rikuo writes a resignation letter and asks Karasu Tengu to send it to all the clan leaders across Japan. Nurarihyon enters and reveals that he excommunicated the Kyuso clan. Ryota Nico promises to help Rikuo see the issue through, and they headed to fight Kyuso. When Ryota Nico trips over the platform, the other yokai run to assist him. All look at Rikuo, waiting for his response. Suddenly, Rikuo feels hot, and a sakura tree outside blows in a sudden wind. Rikuo transforms into his yokai form. Kyuso, in the mansion, opens the cage encasing Kana and Yura, and is about to devour the two. Kana stays behind Yura, who tries to defend them. Without her Shikigami, since Kyuso had ate her paper charms, all hope seems lost. However, the Hakiyako, led by Rikuo, breaks into the mansion just in time. Kyuso hoped that Rikuo circulated the letter already. Rikuo reveals it in front of his eyes and tears it to shreds. Otabo leaps across the room to pry open the cage bars, releasing Kana and Yura. The rat yokai transform and begin their assault on the Hakiyako. Otabo and Kurotabo begin a contest to see who can kill the most rat yokai. Kurotabo begins with a dance of the black weapons. Kurotabo introduces himself as the assassin monk, while Otabo is scoring more yokai. Yuki Onna freezes some of the rat yokai. Rikuo, Kubanashi, and Ryota Nico confront Kyuso, as Ryota Nico vows to avenge his henchman. Kyuso transforms into a giant rat. Kubanashi constrains him as Ryota Nico pounces on Kyuso's face, scratching him slightly, but knocking himself out. Although beaten, Ryota Nico says he is fine. Just as Kyuso assaults Kubanashi, Rikuo blows a blue inferno onto Kyuso, known as Maikyo Shizui Sakura. As Kyuso perishes, he proclaims the Nura clan with its obsolete crests will not survive, and that he wants to live more freely. At dawn in a misty Yukio town, Kana and Yura and the Hakiyako are seen standing on opposite sides of a footbridge over a road, not knowing that Rikuo is on the other side as the leader of the Hakiyako. Yura promises to defeat them the next time they meet. Rikuo bids her farewell and leaves with the rest of the Hakiyako. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to see more, please let me know. I'm not sure if you want the next part of this anime or a new series altogether, so your feedback is greatly appreciated. Thanks again for tuning in.